Howdy-ho, it's Major Menendez again, tucked and untaped. I've been teetering with this subject for quite a while. Given my own personal circumstances, there are a lot of reasons why I've been teetering with it. But I saw something very, very recently that made me decide that this is something that I was going to post. It's a subject that's not always talked about in the entertainment world. So if that means I have to be an ass and bring it up, so be it. For me, it's a very personal subject, and it's all good. So either you can listen to it and pay attention, or you can completely ignore it. It's completely up to you what you decide that you want to do with this information. I'm just going to put it out there. This particular subject is about drinking on and well, more importantly on the stage, but just in general, in this line of business, it is not difficult to get caught up in that crazy party scene. You know, you're in the spotlight and you're getting that attention and you want to drink and you want to party. And for most people can get away with it. It is not uncommon for newcomers to have to take those couple of shots before they get on the stage, just to get, you know, that liquid courage up. And I understand all that. But it's not easy. I mean, it's not hard to get carried away with it. A lot of y'all know my history, and I'll be the first person to admit that I'm a raging alcoholic. I did not realize that when I started to perform, and in the very, very beginning, I prided myself on how I didn't get shit-faced before a performance. I always justified it. Well, I get shit-faced and hang out with the fans after the show, not realizing that when you're in this business, no matter what you do on or off the stage, it will come back to bite you in the ass. And it will come back to haunt you. An entertainer, male or female, should never get shit-faced on the stage during performances. You know, I think somewhere in the back of our heads, we sit and we justify the fact, well, we're just having a good time. But there are, you know, people in the audience who will look upon you being shit-faced not as you having a good time, but as you just looking sloppy and a hot mess. You know, for me personally, I just about ruined my reputation as a result of Jim, Jack, Jose, and towards the end, whoever else came along for me to play with. It's understandable, you know, so not all people have the same issues as I do. But again, it doesn't take much to get caught up with it. And you have to understand the importance of professionalism at all times. You know, there were times where I would not be in drag and I'd be out in the club just wilding the hell out. And I'd be recognized. And if I was a drunk, sloppy mess, then that would literally get around. And you know, in the wonderful world of gossip, it always comes back to you. You know, they won't say it to your face. They'll come up and they'll joke and they'll ha 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 ha. And then the next thing you know, you're being plastered on Facebook, or at the time it was MySpace, or just shit gets around. The wonderful world of technology enables shit to get around a lot quicker. It's no longer just word of mouth. When you are on the stage performing, you are on the stage performing to the best of your ability as a professional. When you are off the stage, you still have to be that professional type person, even though you may not be in drag. And drugs should play no part in this whatsoever. You know, I personally don't knock anybody who goes out and smokes an occasional blunt. I don't. But don't act like an ass on stage. Don't get on stage high and screw up your perception of what you're doing. I'm telling you, people will talk. Venue owners do pay attention to things of this nature. It can ruin what you're setting out to do. It will make or break you as an entertainer. I personally got lucky. It broke me. But because of the steps that I took once I realized and I got my head out of my ass, I'm slowly working it back up. That you know, I'm not that person anymore. And I've recently seen an entertainer get on the stage and was so sloppy that they could not comprehend anything that was going on, and just things of that nature. And it got me thinking. Like I said, this is a subject that is not always talked about. It's something that's always shoved under the rug or ignored. So again, I'm gonna be the ass, and I'm gonna bring it up, and it is what it is. You know, I've been in situations where I would be at airports or in stores and whatnot, and you'd be surprised how many people recognize you. Now the question is, what do you want them to remember? Do you want them to remember you, you know, acting like a drunken ass? Or do you want them to remember you for a performance that you recently gave? How do you want them to talk about you? Because talk they do. And you don't realize it. You know, you get up under the spotlight and you get lost in the moment, and you get that tunnel vision that it's about, you know, you doing what it is that you're doing up there. And you're doing the flirtatious thing. But you don't realize that when they leave the bar, they are going to sit and discuss this. Do you want them to do it in a negative manner, or do you want them to do it in a positive manner? Do you want them to come back and watch you perform to see you act like an ass? Or do you want them to watch you perform because you're good at what you do? All I'm trying to say is that, you know, it's okay. Everybody gets shit-faced on occasion. It happens to all of us. Don't bring it to the stage. And watch what you do, because it's going to end up either you know, very badly if that's what you're doing. If you can't get on the stage sober, then that's something that you need to work on. In the very, very beginning, I had to do it, and I know a lot of entertainers who had to do it. But in the long run, if you cannot get on that stage completely sober and do what you do, you may need to rethink what you're doing. It was really difficult for me in my personal early sobriety to get up there. I still don't like to MC. I thought I was funny as hell on the stage MCing drunk as shit. Turns out it wasn't so cute. So I had to rebuild, and you don't want to be put in that situation. I will tell you from personal experience, it is not something that you want to go through. You know, you don't want to kick yourself in the ass, and you don't want to feel that guilt for letting your fans down if it becomes repetitive. So all I'm trying to say is watch what you do, watch how you do it. And always be conscious of your actions. You know, you don't have to, it's a party, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a party where you're coming out a loser in the long run. That's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. Again, if you think I'm an ass, then it is what it is. I just felt it was necessary. So on that note, thank you for listening to my babble, and peace.